Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Branch, the art teacher, and today we are going to make a sloth hanging from a tree branch. And so, what we're going to do today, let me go over the supplies we need. Let me turn my camera carefully so it doesn't fall out the holder. Alright, I'm going to lift the arm up a little bit so we get a little more of my desk. So, you're going to need a 9 by 12 sheet of brown paper, a little bit of green. This is probably a 4.5 by 6. This is half of that, black, some white, and some darker brown, 2 clothespins, some glue, a brown or a black marker, and of course, some hot glue. And be careful with the hot glue because you can get burned. Alright, so, and of course, scissors. Alright, so first things first, let me move all of this out the way and start, and a pencil. Can't forget the pencil. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my 9 by 12 sheet of brown paper in half. And I'll bring this down just a little bit and make sure we're capturing everything. There we go. And I'm going to cut this paper in half. Now, you get to decide whether you want your sloth to hang this way or this way. It is totally up to you as the artist. And what we're going to do is draw a circle for the head and like a jelly bean shape or a weird U shape for the body. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So I'm going to just lightly... Now, you know what? You guys probably can't see that. So what I'm going to do is get a marker real quick. And I'm going to draw it. So here is my circle. And then I'm going to add a U shape or a jelly bean U shape for my body and attach that to the circle. Now, since I went on and drew dark with this marker, what I'm going to do is, when I cut it out, I'm going to flip it so you don't see my marker lines. So, that means my sloth is going to be hanging this way this time. So, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut that out. Follow those lines. And so once I have this all cut out, I'm going to move my scraps out of the way. And I'm going to put them off to the side because I might use them again later. And now I'm going to just flip my sloth body over. And now I'm going to work on the face. So I'm going to use the white for that light color fur. That's the face. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And on this paper, I'm going to take my pencil, or you can take your marker, and it's going to be like I'm going to make half a heart. So like I was going to make a heart, or a number 2, or a backwards number 2, or part of an 8. But either way, I'm going to cut this line with the paper folded so I can keep it together. Now, it's very important that when you draw that line, you draw it where the fold is. Now, this is too big for... Oh, that's not my face. Still a little too big for my face. So I'm going to make it shorter. I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom. See how that fits? Fits better. But now I want to make this round. So I'm going to fold it back. And right here, move my scraps out of the way. I'm just going to cut a little curve into it. And there we go. Now, I can still see that pencil line. So what I'm going to do is just flip it over. So my pencil line disappears. And now I'm going to flip it back over to the side with the pencil line. And I'm going to go ahead and glue, put a little bit of glue on that piece. And I normally say not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. But I just went very gently over it. I didn't make it too dark. And there we go. There's my sloth's face starting. And so now I'm going to make the space for the eyes. Now another cool thing is that this little bit right here, I'm going to save on my scrap. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my circles before I forget. So I'm going to go ahead and while I have it still folded, just cut out a little circle for my eyes. And if it's lopsided, it's fine. They don't have to be perfect. So now I need to make this brown part of the sloth's face. Now I made it stay on the white part, but you can make yours go all the way to the edge. It doesn't have to stay on. And it's kind of like making a U shape or a thumb shape. So what I'm going to do is fold it in half because I'm going to need two. And it doesn't matter which way I fold it, if I have my paper here or if I have it here, because they don't have to stay attached. So I don't have to worry about the spine right here. Sorry about that. The camera tilted, everyone. And what I'm going to do now if you need to, you can draw it. And let me go ahead and draw it with the marker so you can see it. Now, one thing when you draw it, you want to make sure that your eye is going to fit on the inside. So as long as your eye fits on the inside of that shape, you're good to go. That's why I stopped and cut the eye out. And now I'm going to cut it out. And because I don't want to see the line where I drew, I'm just going to flip it over. Now it looks kind of big, so I might have to trim it down some. But let me see. My eyes fit on it. And that actually works pretty good. So I could leave it like this, but if you feel like you need to trim it down, you could trim it down. But I'm going to go ahead and glue mine down. So I'm going to flip over to the side. Oh, I had tried to pull the top off and I already had the top off. And I'm going to glue that down. And it's okay if it goes past the lines. It is totally a preference. It doesn't have to stay in the lines. I just did that first one like that. And if it comes off the edges a little, I can take my scissors and just trim a little. I'll flip over so I can see it so I don't accidentally cut too much. So I can cut that little bit off. And I can cut that little bit off if it makes you feel happy. And so now I'm going to go ahead and glue my circle part of my eyes on. And now I need to make the black part of my eyes, so I'm going to take this black piece of paper. I'm going to put my scraps over. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half because I need two. And I'm just going to, on a little corner, just turn my paper into a circle as I'm cutting. And that looks kind of big, so I'm going to trim some of that off. And let's see, does it fit? Still kind of big. Let me trim some more. And trim some more. Just turning the paper as I cut. Let's see, does that fit in there? It fits better. It's good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. If you want them smaller, then you can make yours smaller. It's totally up to you because you're the artist. Ugh, my camera keeps tilting. Let's see. Make sure that I am in the frame. Oh, please do not fall out. There we go. So now I'm going to, I don't need to have it folded, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut out. You know what? Because it's kind of long, I am going to cut right here where it's folded. I'm just going to cut out a little U shape where it's folded. And then I have my nose shape. That's kind of big. I can leave it big or I can make it smaller. And I'll just make it just a little smaller. So I'm just going to trim it down a bit. There's my nose shape. And so now I put a little glue on it. And there's my nose shape. Now, this next part, you can either draw a line or you can cut out a curve. So since I have like a little bit of a curve here, I'm just going to hand and curve that, cut a little. Oh, I cut more than I planned. And I'm going to cut that off. Cut that little bit of curve, or you could draw it. It's up to you. You're the artist. Huh. Now it looks like a little mustache. Do I want that? That actually looks kind of cute. I think I'll leave that. So again, I'm going to put a little glue on that. And then we're going to go ahead. There. So now I have my sloth's head and body done. So I'm going to put my sloth off to the side for a little bit. And I'm going to make my tree branch. Oh, wait. Let me go ahead and finish the sloth first. So now I need to make his arms. And they can be close, they can be far apart. It's totally up to you. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of hot glue and put 2 little dots. And be careful because you can see the smoke coming off of that. Hot glue is hot. And press that onto the clothespin. And I'm going to press that on here too. And I'm going to put it off to the side and let it just sit and dry. Now I'm going to make the tree branch that my sloth is going to hang off. So this piece that I have left of the brown, I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm folding it in half lengthwise. And fold it in half. And I'm going to fold. And then I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to just roll each fold over itself. And if it gets a little crooked, it's fine. It's just a tree branch. And then I can bring that part back over a little bit. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just use a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to put a little dot. Ooh, that's a lot right there. And just because I don't need it, I'm going to just trim this extra bit off. There we go. So now I have my tree branch. Now I'm going to make some leaves. It keeps tilting. Tighten up. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Alright, I'm trying my other phone because I did not realize that all my old videos had a line around it and wasn't taking up the full screen. I don't know exactly what happened or what I did wrong on that one. So I'm trying with my other phone. So right now I've just taken that green piece of paper, that little piece, and folding it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half again. And if you need to, you can draw 2 curved lines, like a smile, and then a frown. And you get a leaf shape. And then you could cut them all out at one time. And that will give you 4 leaves. And you can put them together or you can separate them. You can draw some lines on them if you want. I'm going to flip this one over so you don't see the black line. I'm going to go ahead and use my brown. And I'm just going to draw a line down the middle. This is totally optional because you're as the artist. You get to choose how you want your leaves and everything to look. It doesn't have to have the lines. Not all of the leaves have lines. So now, I'm just going to, now I can either use regular glue, or you can use hot glue. And hot glue might go a little faster, but I'm going to go ahead and use a little glue. And I'm going to go ahead and put them on. I think I'll put some down here. And I have some leaves on my branch. And now I can bring back my sloth and open up the clothespin. clip him on. And one more thing. Now, if you want it to be a two-toed sloth, put one line down the middle. But if you want it to be a three-toed sloth, then you're going to make like a number 11. So you get 3 toes. And I'm going to just go ahead and stick another 11 right there. So now it looks like a three-toed sloth instead of the two-toed sloth. But it's totally up to you which way you want to do it. And that is how you make the sloth, everyone. So I will see y'all for the next video. Bye!